Brought to you by the Dark Lord himself, Queasy Ali. A few years back, I signed up with a company called Fidelity Docs. They said they could help students file complaints against schools that lied about job placement rates. I went to DeVry University and Keller Graduate School, both promised strong job placement after graduation, but they never delivered. I filled out their paperwork, sent in my claim, and then nothing. Years went by. No calls, no emails, just silence. Then, about 2 or 3 years ago, I logged into my student loan account. And everything was gone. All $170,000 of it, completely forgiven. At first, I thought it had to be a mistake. But later, I even got about $20,000 refunded for payments I'd already made. When I went digging through my old emails, I found the answer. An official message from the U.S. Department of Education, dated February 28, 2023, approving my case under the Suite v. Cardona settlement. That's the massive court-ordered program that wiped out loans for students who'd been defrauded by schools like DeVry and Keller. And honestly, I've got to give credit where it's due. If it weren't for the Biden administration pushing to reopen and settle these cases, none of this relief would have happened. The Borrower Defense to Repayment program has actually existed for years, but it barely moved until Biden's team stepped in and cleared a massive backlog of old claims. They discovered DeVry had lied for years, bragging that 90% of graduates were employed in their field within 6 months, and that number was completely fake. In 2022, the Department of Education announced over $400 million in discharges, and by 2023, more claims were automatically approved, including mine. That's why everything suddenly disappeared. My loans were part of that group discharge. During the previous administration, most of these cases were frozen. But once Biden took office, they started reviewing everything again and forgiving entire groups of loans, even for people who hadn't heard anything in years. Mine was one of them. So yeah, $170,000 in student loans, gone. Plus about 20 grand back in refunds. The Department of Education even cleaned up my credit report. If you think you might qualify for the same kind of forgiveness, go to studented.gov and check your loan breakdown. If it says discharged, borrower defense or forgiven, borrower defense to repayment, that's it, you're in. You can also look up your claim on the Borrower Defense website. I filed my case years ago with Fidelity Docs, and it sat in limbo until the Biden administration finally pushed the Suite v. Cardona settlement through. That's what changed everything. $170,000 forgiven. $20,000 refunded. And years of stress just gone. If you went to DeVry, Keller, ITT Tech, Corinthian, or any of those for-profit schools that made big promises they never kept, check your eligibility. This program literally changed my life. Queasy Ali, the man, the myth, the legend. The icon aka the Dark Lord. Hashtag Revolution 2025 Hashtag Chaos Rising 2025 Hashtag Rebellion 2025 Hashtag Student Freedom 2025 Hashtag Borrower Defense Hashtag Debt Destroyed